Alright guys, welcome back to MAPOP Sports. This is Grandy. This is your first time here, welcome. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel, checking out this video. If you guys are returning, welcome back. I always welcome you guys. Like I said, truly appreciate you guys checking me out again. So hopefully everybody's having a good week. As I was mentioning yesterday, I was just grinding shipping. I had a lot of orders, which is a good thing. That's a good problem to have. I was able to get mostly all the orders from the weekend out, so that's obviously a good thing. And then today, just back to the grind, just listing stuff, scanning stuff in. So just like I just said, it's just back to the grind. If you guys are wondering, if you guys first time here or people just checking out this channel, what I'm all about is you guys are just following my journey of trying to sell sports cards for a living, creating my new business of selling sports cards on the eBay store, just online, in person, at card shows, things like that. So you just following my journey, man. You guys are learning as much as I am, and I'm just kind of giving you guys my 2 cents on a lot of topics in the sports card world. And just like I said, it's just my opinion, just my experience. Whether it's right or wrong, you guys take it for what it is, man. So today, I just want to talk about the 3, I guess you can say, I won't say biggest myths, but just the 3 myths about selling sports cards for a living that people think, and what I've actually come to hear, or people ask me, or just what they just think. So, number 1, selling sports card for a living is easy and fun. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. It is and it isn't. So I guess this is a myth that it's just super easy all day. All you do is take sports cards that you've collected and you just sell them easily, whether it's on eBay, whether it's in person, on Facebook Marketplace, on whatnot, all that stuff. I just want people to realize it's a lot more work than people realize. It's work, man. At the end of the day, it's a business. Especially when you're doing this full time. So I just want people to realize that the biggest myth about, saying it's just so much fun and easy to sell sports cards, it's not. It is a grind. It is work. It is a job. I still enjoy it. It's a difference between when people say it's fun and easy versus do you enjoy what you do? I enjoy what I do. I enjoy selling sports cards full time, all day, every day, all day long. I truly enjoy it. However, is it easy and fun? Not all the time. It's definitely not always easy because people don't realize that to sell a card, whether it's a high-end, mid-end, low-end, you still have to find a buyer that's willing to pay a specific price for your card. It's not always easy to find that buyer, whether it's on eBay, whether it's, at a card show. You still got to find that niche. So it's not always easy. People always think it's easy, that you're just able to just list and it's going to instantly sell. So that's a big myth about that. Whether, YouTubers or whether, just influencers make it seem like it's super easy to strike a deal. It's in my eyes, I feel like, especially when you get into the higher end stuff, it's rare. There's a reason why you don't see, on high end cards comps, once every couple months. It's because it's very difficult to just sell that card instantly for a specific price, especially whatever you value it. So easy, I would say that's a big myth. And is it fun? It is fun. As long as you enjoy it. But to some people, if it's all about the money, I think it takes the fun out of it. So I guess you can kind of say that's a myth about that. So easy and fun, it's just, it's relative. But I do think the easy part is definitely a myth. It's not as easy. It's just like any other business, any other job, I feel like, any other career that you choose on that. Number 2, another myth that you need a lot of money to sell sports cards for a living. That's the case. So I don't think you need a ton of capital. It just depends on your niche. Now, a lot of people, obviously looking at influencers when they're super high end, you have to keep in mind a lot of these guys, whether they have a lot of capital saved up, whether they came into the industry just recently with a lot of capital already, they can go super high end. And obviously you don't necessarily need that. You just got to figure out your way in your niche, and start low. If that's the case, you don't need a lot of money, guys, to get into sports cards and trying to sell it for a living. Understandably, you're going to need some capital. There is a beginning phase and a learning curve and all that stuff of understanding the business, especially if you never really jumped into it. I feel like, once you kind of understand where you want to be and where you need to start off, you don't need a ton of money, and don't start off at the high end stuff. That it's as simple as that. If you only have $1,000, then I guess, work with that. Find some, lower end stuff and build your way up to the mid tiers, to the high end stuff. That would be my suggestion. But in reality, the myth of needing a lot of money or needing to buy that super high end stuff, I think that's a big myth. If you want to do this for a living, or you're trying to make it as a full-time gig, you know what I mean? You don't really need that. I think you just got to figure it out. Stay within your lane. That's the biggest thing. I try to tell people, stay within your lane. If you only have $1,000, don't be trying to buy a freaking, a $2,000 card. You can't afford it, right? Don't put yourself in a hole. Whether you're trying to use credit cards, things like that. I think that's the biggest thing, is that people don't have to go that route. Like I just said, stay within your lane. If you only got $1,000 to spend, maybe spend only $500 on lots, and then work on that end and start selling those and try to make a little bit of profit to flip to possibly reinvest into your inventory. That's what I would do. That's what I would recommend. That's what I've been trying to do. In that sense, it's just like I just said, stay within your lane. If you can slowly increase your I guess you can say level of cards to the mid to the high end, then definitely do that. But like I said, slowly build that way up. But don't be in a rush to, like I just said, buy super high end stuff to try and make money and flip in that sense. And also, you don't need a ton of money. You just got to be smart with it. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to be smart with whatever capital, whatever funds you have. Even if you're just doing this part time, you still don't need to go high end. You still don't need a ton of money to get this started. You can just, like I said, do a little side hustle, side gig, go to card shows. That's what I recommend. You can get better deals that way. And that's what I would do. Like I just said, don't need a ton of money, don't need a ton of capital, don't need to go super high end to get this started. In regards to doing this full time. I guess you can say last but not least about the myth of sports cards. You need a ton of, I guess you can say, inventory. So this is the thing. It just depends. If you already have a collection and you're looking to move it, right there you got inventory. You don't need a huge ton of listings. Like, currently in myself, I wouldn't say I have a lot. I don't consider my eBay store as huge. I have got a little bit over 34,000 listings. I don't think that's considered huge. You don't need that much. I've seen and I know people who sell sports cards full time, and they have maybe barely 1,000 to 2,000 listings. You don't need it. It's just you. And this is the thing. There's different avenues where you can sell sports card, and you can find your niche and just kind of figure out your way. You don't need a ton of inventory. But a lot of people think, well, I only got 100 cards, or I only got 1,000 cards, or I only got whatever, just start listing and then just kind of figure out your way. And like I was just saying, that you don't need a ton of inventory. You just got to find the right inventory. That's the biggest thing, is just figuring out the right inventory of what people are interested in or what people are going to want to purchase. Some people are like, buy super modern. Super modern is what's liquid and all that stuff. Then you got other people who say, no, buy vintage only. That they move tons of stuff on vintage only. And then you got others who say, buy the unique, very limited parallels, or numbered, very limited numbered one cards and things like that, rare cards. Find your niche. You don't need a ton of inventory. I think that's a big myth, is that you need a ton of inventory. You don't. Figure it out of what works for you. I think that's the biggest thing, is that A lot of people will give you advice. And this is the thing, when you get into selling sports cards and in this, industry, in this hobby, you're gonna get a bunch of people who think they're freaking know-it-alls. And I'm not gonna lie, that shit does annoy me sometimes, but nobody knows everything. That's the thing, man. Everybody knows a little bit of something from their experience and all that stuff, and take it, like I just said, take everything as a grain of salt. But you're gonna be learning along the process. You can learn every day. I learn every day. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm completely learning about this industry, about what's working, what's not working. What I'm trying to plan for. You try to adjust, you try to figure out what's the best route to sell certain cards, or what niche is going to work, what industry, what sports, what players, what type of players, all that stuff. Learning every day. I'm just still trying to figure that out. And like I said, you don't need 100,000 cards listed to make this a viable living. You just got to find what niche you want to work into and become, I guess you can say, almost become an expert in that niche or a specific sports card, and kind of figure it out to see what is going to move, what's going to sell for you. And like I just said, you don't need a huge, vast inventory. You just got to figure it out, what is going to work for you and what's best for you, for your budget and all that stuff. So you got to take that into all consideration. So those are the 3 big myths, I guess you can say, or that it's kind of incorrect sometimes. Definitely you don't need a ton of money. You don't need a ton of capital. You can start from the ground up. You can start lower end stuff, just figuring it out. And the biggest thing, another thing, a myth that people don't realize is that you don't need 200,000 cards of inventory to start this business. You can start off with a low amount of inventory, but just got to figure out a niche to where you can make a sustainable business. And another thing is that it's easy. It's just really not. I mean, selling sports cards is not easy. It's fun. I enjoy it in a sense, but it's not always fun in games. There is some monotonous to it, obviously, selling sports card, and then it's also difficult sometimes to sell cards. I don't want to. It's not always peachy cream and rainbows and sunshine and all that stuff when you're selling sports cards. I just want people to realize that it is work. It is hard work. It is very rewarding, though. Keep in mind, I want people to understand it is rewarding, but it's just not easy as people make it seem to be sometimes. Keep in mind, this is the thing, influencers, people who show videos of them making deals and or whether on Instagram, all that stuff. Keep in mind, they're only going to show the good stuff, guys. They're not going to show the shit stuff. They're not going to show the stuff they lose money on. They're not going to show the boring, monotonous stuff that they have to go through to get to that point. They're only going to show the most highlighted stuff. So keep that in mind, just so everybody knows on that. So those are I guess you can say, the small 3 myths that, when it comes to selling sports cards, whether you're doing full-time, part-time, whatever, just the myths about it, I feel. But I just want to bring the reality of it to you guys. But like I said, I still enjoy it. I still love it. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure it out. So take it for what it is on that. So if you guys enjoy this stuff, feel free, like I said, subscribe. Feel free to like. If you have not subscribed, all good, man. Appreciate you guys watching this far. Appreciate you guys just checking out the video on this channel. So don't forget, check it out. eBay store, and the link in the description. Every little bit helps. And feel free to make an offer on any cards. I'm going to try and be listing throughout this week. So there you guys go, man. Other than that, have a good rest of the week. Till next time. Thanks, guys.